Chosen one. Stop right here. Do not rush past this moment. Heaven itself has paused your journey to deliver a word carved into eternity for you. Out of all the paths you could have taken today, you are here because divine hands guided your steps. This is not random. This is not by chance. This is the whisper of God calling you by name. Deep inside, you have always felt different. You could never fully blend in, never completely silence the pull of destiny tugging at your spirit. While others moved without concern, you wrestled with questions that ran deeper. You carried weight others could not see. You endured rejection that should have crushed you. Yet instead, it marked you as chosen. The pain you carried was not punishment, it was prophecy. Every storm you faced, every lonely tear you cried, every night you thought no one saw you, heaven saw. While people overlooked you, the Creator was shaping you in secret. The wilderness you walked through was not wasted. It was the training ground where heaven refined your faith, strengthened your voice, and sharpened your vision. The ancient words recorded in Romans still echo today. Chapter 8, verse 37. No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. That is your identity. You are not barely surviving, you are more than a conqueror. You are not forgotten, you are fiercely loved. You are not defeated, you are destined to rise. This is why the warfare against you has been so intense. The enemy recognized your crown before you did. He saw your light, your influence, your calling, and he trembled. That's why distraction tried to entangle you. Why heaviness tried to suffocate you. Why opposition rose up against you. But what he failed to realize is that your survival only proves your unstoppable nature. The battle you endured is evidence of the destiny you carry. Chosen one. Pause and look back. What should have destroyed you did not succeed. The fire refined you. The water did not drown you. The betrayal did not silence you. You are still here because God's hand never left your life. Every setback was setting you up for this very moment. This message is not just encouragement, it is confirmation. It is heaven reminding you that you were created for more, and that more begins now. You are stepping into a season of unveiling, where the hidden will be revealed, where your light will shine without apology. So I urge you, do not keep this word to yourself. Share it, so that other chosen ones may awaken to their calling. Like this message, so it can echo further across the nations. And if you have not yet, subscribe right now, so you never miss the words heaven appoints for your spirit. And as a prophetic declaration, comment the number 77 below. 7 is completion, and doubled, it becomes covenant. By typing it, you are boldly saying, Lord, I align with your purpose over my life. Let your comment be a seal between you and heaven itself. Chosen one. This is only the beginning. What is about to unfold will prove why the battle was so great, because your calling is greater. Chosen one. Think back further than the struggles of your present life. Think deeper than the memories you carry. You were not marked in the moment of your first breath. You were marked before time itself began. Long before your name was spoken on this earth. It was already written in the records of heaven. This is why you have always carried a sense of being different. Even as a child, you noticed what others did not. You felt the weight of emotions too deep for your years. You often found yourself standing apart, even when you longed to belong. This was not rejection for rejection's sake, it was divine separation. Heaven carved a distinction into your life so that when the time came, you would know you are not ordinary. Your scars prove it. The broken places you survived are testimonies that the hand of God has been upon you since the very beginning. What destroyed others did not destroy you. What silenced others could not silence you. That is because the oil on your life has always been too costly to be wasted. You are marked by design. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you, in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Chosen one. Do you feel the weight of that? Before any mistake, before any failure, before any battle, you were known. Not just noticed, but known. And more than that, you were set apart, chosen for a purpose that not even the fiercest opposition can erase. This explains why your life has never been simple. Others may walk paths that seem easy, while yours feels heavy with trial. But every weight you have carried has been shaping you into the vessel heaven intended. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are being refined for an assignment greater than your imagination. And yes, the rejection hurt. The loneliness cut deep. There were days you wondered if anyone truly saw you, if anyone truly cared. But the truth is, heaven saw you in every tear. The one who set you apart has never once turned his face from you. Even when you felt unseen, you were surrounded. Even when you felt unheard, your cries shook the courts of heaven. Chosen one. Your scars are holy. They are proof of survival, proof of preservation, proof that you are marked. The oil of your calling seeps through those wounds, and it will flow into the lives of others who are still trapped in their darkness. You were never chosen for comfort. You were chosen for impact. Your difference has always been your evidence. You don't think like others. You don't see like others. You don't move like others because your design is not meant to blend in. You were shaped to stand out. Heaven carved uniqueness into your very spirit so that when the world looks at you, they will see a glimpse of the divine. And now, as you hear this word, something within you stirs again. That's the fire of remembrance. That's heaven reminding you, you have always been mine. You have always been chosen. The world may have tried to convince you otherwise. People may have misjudged you. Circumstances may have lied to you. But the truth remains unshaken. You are marked since birth. So hold your head high. Chosen one. Walk with the knowledge that your identity is not shaped by the opinions of others, nor by the failures of your past. It was sealed before time, sealed in the mind of God, sealed in the words spoken through his prophets. You are his, and you are chosen, chosen one. Let us step into the silence where few dare to go. Behind every smile you wear in public, behind every "I'm fine" whispered when you are breaking inside, there exists a battlefield no one else sees. It is here, in the quiet corners of your life, that the fiercest battles have been fought. Nights when sleep refused to come, days when the weight of the world pressed against your chest, moments when your prayers seemed to echo into emptiness. But listen, none of those moments were wasted. Heaven has watched over every silent tear, every groan too deep for words. The unseen battles you've endured have been training ground for the greatness you were born to carry. You thought you were breaking, but you were being built. You thought you were abandoned, But angels surrounded you. The darkness wanted to bury you. Yet all it did was plant you deeper in God's purpose. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Notice this truth. David did not say, if I walk through, but though I walk through. That means the valley was never permanent. It was a passage, not a prison. Chosen one. The valleys you endured were never meant to define you. They were meant to refine you. Every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every battle with yourself, it all has been forging resilience, sharpening your discernment, and strengthening the flame inside of you. You did not realize it at the time, but you were being trained for the stage heaven has reserved for you. This is why you often felt misunderstood. People saw your surface but never grasped the depth of your journey. They judged the mask you wore without knowing the war you fought. But heaven has seen it all. Heaven has recorded every hidden struggle. And heaven says today, none of it was wasted. Now I want you to take a prophetic step with me, right here, in this moment of revelation. Write in the comments, I will obey. Why those words? Because they are not casual, they are covenant. By declaring, I will obey, you are telling heaven, even in the silence, even when I don't see the outcome, even when my heart is weary, I choose your will above my own. When you type, I will obey, you are shifting your posture from survival to surrender. You are proving to yourself and to the kingdom that your silent battles did not weaken your faith, they strengthened your resolve. These words carry weight because obedience is the bridge between promise and fulfillment. Understand this. Your private battles are the soil where public victories will grow. The very struggles that tried to silence you will become the testimony that sets others free. The nights of tears will become mornings of laughter. The valleys will transform into mountaintop moments, and every secret place where you thought you were alone will be revealed as a sanctuary where God was closest to you. Chosen one. Do not despise the silence. Do not curse the valley. Do not resent the battles no one else saw. For it is in those hidden places that heaven proved you are stronger than you knew, braver than you believed, and more chosen than you imagined. This is your reminder. Your silent struggles are not evidence of abandonment. They are evidence of preparation. And the one who walked with you through the valley is now leading you into victory. Chosen one. There is something the enemy has always feared about you, the light you carry. It is not a light born of circumstances, not a flame given by people, not a spark that can be extinguished by opposition. It is an eternal fire, woven into your very being before the foundations of the world. That light has drawn resistance, but it has also drawn divine protection everywhere you have gone. Whether you realized it or not, your presence shifted the atmosphere. In rooms where tension lingered, peace began to stir when you walked in. In spaces heavy with despair, hope quietly awakened when your voice was heard. Even when you said nothing, the light within you spoke louder than any words. This is why some people reacted with discomfort. It was not you they rejected, it was the light they could not handle. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 18, the path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. That verse describes you. Your journey has not been about flickering moments of brightness, but about steady growth. increasing illumination, and a destiny that shines more clearly as you move forward. The darker the world grows, the brighter your calling becomes. Chosen one. Do you see now why darkness trembles at you? Your very existence testifies of the one who sent you. You don't need a platform, a stage, or a spotlight to be effective. You are already the beacon. You are already the torch in the night. Even the battles you've endured have polished your light, making it shine with authenticity that cannot be faked. Think of the times you felt small, invisible, or insignificant. Even then, your light was disrupting darkness. The enemy tried to convince you that your struggles disqualified you. But in truth, those struggles have magnified the purity of your flame, like gold refined by fire. Your light now burns stronger, clearer, and unstoppable. And notice this, light is never intimidated by darkness. It doesn't argue with the shadows. It doesn't strive or compete. It simply shines. And the darkness has no choice but to retreat. That is the reality of your calling. Where you go, light goes. Where you stand, hope rises. Where you remain, chains break, not because of your strength, but because of the light heaven entrusted to you. This light is also why people are drawn to you without explanation. Strangers may feel peace in your presence. Friends may lean on you for strength they cannot find elsewhere. Even those who once rejected you cannot deny the gravity of your influence. It is not charisma. It is not personality. It is anointing. And it is the undeniable signature of heaven on your life. Chosen one. You must understand this truth. Carrying light is not a small assignment. It is warfare. Darkness recognizes what you carry, and that is why it wages war against you. But no matter how strong the resistance becomes, it cannot overpower what was born from eternity. The same God who lit the flame within you sustains it day by day. So walk boldly in your radiance. Do not shrink back to make others comfortable. Do not dim yourself to blend into shadows. You were never meant to hide. You were never meant to apologize for the light you carry. You were meant to shine. And through that shine, others will find their way. Chosen one. Let this truth settle deep. You are a carrier of light that terrifies darkness, and as long as you keep walking, the world will never be the same. Chosen one. You must recognize something critical about your journey. The enemy has never been afraid of your weakness. He has always been afraid of your focus. His strategy has not been to destroy your destiny. That is impossible. Instead, his goal has been to distract you, to pull your eyes away from the path you were born to walk. How many times has delay tried to trap you? How often has compromise whispered in your ear, convincing you that just this once would not matter? How many moments have you found yourself drained? Not because you were defeated, but because you were distracted. This is no coincidence. It has been a calculated plan to bury you beneath noise, busyness, and confusion. Yet here you are, reading these words at this very moment. And that proves something powerful. Every distraction failed. Every trap fell short. Every scheme of the enemy was overturned. Because you cannot be buried when heaven has called you to rise. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13, God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. That is why you are still standing. not because the battle was easy, but because God's faithfulness never failed you. Chosen one. This is where your awareness becomes your weapon. Once you recognize the tactics of the enemy, you no longer fall for them. You see them for what they are, distractions designed to keep you from your assignment. And the moment you resist, the moment you choose focus, you take back ground that belongs to you. But hear this carefully, you were never meant to fight alone. The light you carry is powerful, but it is also meant to ignite others. When you share what has been spoken to you, you multiply its impact. When you spread the word, you awaken other chosen ones who have been lost in silence, waiting for a voice to remind them of their calling. This is why I urge you, sincerely, and from the depth of my spirit, if this message has stirred something inside you, do not keep it hidden. Share it, not for numbers, not for recognition, but because there is someone scrolling right now who is on the verge of giving up, and your act of sharing could be the very lifeline they need. And if your heart has been bearing witness with these words, let it show. A simple act of pressing like is not just digital, it is prophetic. It is you saying, yes, I agree with this truth. Yes, I stand with this word. Small actions in faith open the door for great movements in the Spirit. And finally, I ask you with sincerity, subscribe, not because it benefits me, but because heaven has more to release into your life. And I do not want you to miss what comes next. This is not the end of the message. It is only one wave in a flow of divine revelation. If your spirit is hungry, then stay connected so that every word appointed for you finds its way to your heart without delay. Chosen one, you are not alone in this battle against distraction. A community of marked souls is rising, standing shoulder to shoulder, carrying fire together. When you align with this flow, you step into strength greater than your own. So, remember this truth. The enemy may try to distract you, but he cannot defeat you. And as long as you remain aligned, your light will not only endure, it will spread like wildfire. Chosen one, lean in closely now, because what I am about to reveal carries a weight that cannot be ignored. Heaven is whispering of a moment approaching a specific day, a divine appointment, and it is closer than you think. There is a stirring in the unseen, a shifting in the spirit, and the timing has already been marked. Tuesday is not just another square on the calendar. It is not just another ordinary day in the week. Tuesday has been carved out by heaven as a moment of unfolding. Something long hidden will be revealed. Something delayed will finally break through. Something you thought lost forever will return. And your response will determine how much of it you step into. The prophet Habakkuk wrote long ago, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Do you see it? The vision, the promise, the breakthrough. It is tied to an appointed time, and heaven is whispering that the appointed time is nearer than your doubts suggest. But hear me carefully. Chosen one, this unfolding is not automatic. It requires your alignment. Heaven does not call you to sit passively. It calls you to respond. Tuesday is not a date for your curiosity. It is a test of your obedience. Will you recognize the divine invitation, or will you treat it as common? This is why I ask you to make a prophetic declaration right here and now. In the comments, write 444. Why this number? Because the number 4 speaks of foundation, stability, and divine order. By repeating it 3 times, you are saying, Lord, I align myself completely with your appointed time. I choose to stand on your foundation, not mine. I submit to your order, not the world's. Momsen, typing 444 is not superstition, it is symbolism. It is a public covenant. It is you lifting your voice into the atmosphere and saying, I will not miss my moment. I will not sleep through my assignment. I will not treat lightly what heaven has prepared for me. These 3 digits carry the weight of a prophetic act. And when you declare them, you invite the movement of God into your Tuesday and beyond. Chosen one. The unfolding on Tuesday will test your discernment. Distractions may rise heavier than usual. Opposition may come louder than normal. But remember, opposition is always greatest at the edge of breakthrough. That is why this warning has come now. So that when the shaking comes, you will not waver. You will recognize it. Stand firm and step through the door. Heaven opens before you. This is not just about you. Your obedience will ripple outward into lives you cannot even see. Your alignment will shift atmospheres in your family, in your community, even in strangers you may never meet. Tuesday is bigger than your schedule. It is a link in a chain of destiny that stretches further than your imagination. So write it. Chosen one. Comment 444 with boldness. And let the unseen world take notice. Heaven will see your declaration. Darkness will fear your agreement. And your own spirit will rise in confidence, knowing you have sealed your part in what is about to unfold. The appointed time is near. Tuesday is coming. Be ready. For what lingers will linger no more. Chosen one. Picture this moment clearly. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are not drifting without direction. You stand now at the threshold of something greater. A door carved in the spirit realm, waiting for you to step through. Many walk in circles, unaware of the doors before them. But you have been brought to the very edge of destiny. The threshold is a holy place. It is the line between what was and what will be. It is where the weight of the past collides with the promise of the future. And though you may feel hesitation, though fear whispers that you are not ready, heaven declares that you have been prepared for such a moment as this. Think of how many trials you have endured to reach this point. Each obstacle was not meant to stop you, but to strengthen you. Each setback was not meant to break you, but to build you. Every time you questioned if you could go further, you discovered strength you did not know you carried. Now you realize it was not your strength at all, but the hand of God guiding you. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13. Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. Chosen one. This is the word spoken over thresholds. Fear cannot cross with you. Doubt cannot follow you through. Only faith. Only obedience. Only trust will carry you past the line where destiny begins to unfold. But thresholds are never without resistance. When you stand before a divine door, the enemy will try to persuade you to turn back. He will magnify your insecurities, replay old failures, and stir confusion to convince you the door is not real. Yet, the very fact that the pressure is intense proves you are closer than ever. Darkness does not fight what does not threaten it. The door before you is not just for your benefit. It is an entryway into impact beyond yourself. Stepping through means more than a personal breakthrough. It means you become a vessel of transformation for others. The threshold is not selfish, it is generational. The choice you make now will ripple through the lives of many who follow after you. Do not mistake the waiting at the threshold as inactivity. It is sacred pause. Heaven is aligning the last details. Your spirit is being sharpened to discern what lies on the other side. This is why you have felt tension, why you have sensed stirring, why everything familiar feels suddenly unstable. You are standing in between. And what do you do at a threshold? You listen. You wait. You prepare. You gather your courage and anchor yourself in truth. The door will not remain closed forever. It is meant to open. And when it does, you will know it. For the peace of God will rush in, and the weight of uncertainty will lift like fog before the morning sun. Chosen one, understand this. Not everyone arrives at thresholds, and not everyone who arrives steps through. Some turn back because fear convinces them to cling to what is safe. Others hesitate too long, and the moment passes. But you are here, now, and heaven's invitation still stands. The door is real, the threshold is holy, and you have been brought to this place because you are ready, even if you do not feel ready. Trust what heaven has spoken over you. Trust that the one who led you here will also walk you through. Stand tall. Chosen one, you are standing before destiny's door. Chosen one, have you wondered why the weight you have carried has been so heavy? Why the pressure has seemed unbearable at times? Why it felt like life itself was pressing against you from every side? It is because glory is never given lightly. It is carried with cost. The weight you have felt has been the sign of something holy resting on your life. Oil flows only through crushing. Grapes must be pressed before they release wine. Olives must be crushed before they pour forth oil. And so it has been with you. The pressure was not to destroy you, but to release what was hidden within you. That is why you have endured what many could not. The weight you bore was the very evidence of the glory assigned to your name. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Chosen one. The presence of God in your life has been constant, even in the crushing, even in the silence, even when it felt like abandonment. The heaviness you carried was proof, not of absence, but of preparation. Think back on the hardest seasons of your journey, the times when your heart felt too fragile to continue, when you whispered, "I can't carry this anymore." Yet somehow, strength came. Somehow, your feet kept moving. Somehow, the flame of your faith refused to die. That somehow was never coincidence. It was glory carrying you, sustaining you, molding you into the vessel you are today. The weight of glory is not meant to be easy. It sharpens you. It humbles you. It pushes you to places of surrender where you say, "Not my will, but yours be done." This is the soil where destiny grows. The crushing strips away pride, doubt, and distraction, until what remains is pure faith and unshakable trust. Chosen one. Your tears were not wasted. Every cry in the night became water for the seeds of glory. Every unanswered question became a chisel shaping your character. Every delay became fire, refining your endurance. You were never simply surviving pressure, you were being transformed by it. This is why the enemy tried to convince you to give up under the weight. He knew that if you carried it long enough, it would turn into strength. No opposition could match. He knew that the very crushing he intended for destruction would instead produce glory that would terrify the kingdom of darkness. And now, though you may still feel some of the heaviness, you can begin to see what it has produced. You are stronger, wiser, clearer in vision. Your faith is deeper, your discernment sharper. The things that once shook you no longer move you. This is the fruit of carrying the weight of glory. Do not despise the crushing. Do not curse the seasons of heaviness. They have been the making of you. Without them, you would not carry the depth of compassion you have now. Without them, you would not hold the authority you now walk in. Without them, you would not shine with the resilience that sets you apart. Chosen one. The crown that awaits you is proportionate to the weight you have carried. And though the journey has felt overwhelming at times, it has also marked you for greatness. You have endured the pressing, and because of that, the oil flows. So stand tall under the weight. It is not punishment. It is glory. And it rests on you because heaven has trusted you to carry it. Chosen one. Pay close attention now. When destiny draws near, the enemy grows restless. He knows he cannot stop what God has appointed, but he will do everything in his power to distract, discourage, and derail you before the promise arrives. The intensity of the battle before your breakthrough is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Think back on the moments just before your greatest shifts in life. Were those not the times when the struggle seemed heaviest, when voices of doubt shouted the loudest, when temptation knocked harder than ever? That is the strategy of darkness, to convince you to surrender at the very edge of victory. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, Chapter 1, verse 5, Look at the nations, and watch, be amazed. For I am doing something in your days you would not believe. Heaven has already declared wonders over your life, things so extraordinary you would scarcely believe them. And that is precisely why the enemy is trying to drown you in disbelief right before they manifest. Chosen one. Understand this clearly. When pressure intensifies, it means you are closer than ever. The storm does not rage in the middle of the desert, it rages at the edge of the promised land. The attacks that swirl around you right now are not a sign that you are failing, they are proof that you are advancing. But here lies the danger. The enemy is cunning. He does not always use obvious weapons. Sometimes he fights with subtle whispers, weaving lies into your thoughts. Sometimes he disguises distraction as opportunity. Sometimes he cloaks compromise in comfort. And if you are not vigilant, you may mistake the trap for a gift. This is why discernment is vital in this season. Not every open door is from heaven. Not every voice deserves your agreement. Not every path is meant for your feet. Before Tuesday's unfolding, you must guard your spirit like never before. You must weigh every word, test every spirit, and anchor yourself in what God has already spoken. And here, in this sacred moment, I ask you to take a step of faith and alignment. In the comments, type, "I stand ready." Why these words? Because they are not simply a response, they are a declaration. By writing, "I stand ready," you are affirming to heaven and to yourself that no matter how intense the battle becomes, you are prepared to endure. You are saying, "I will not shrink back. I will not lay down my calling. I will face the storm, because I know the promise is greater. Hence, these words shift your perspective. They transform hesitation into confidence, fear into courage, and weakness into strength. By typing them, you are not only agreeing with the message, you are activating your spirit to rise above every distraction. Heaven will recognize your readiness. Darkness will tremble at your resolve, and your own soul will echo with courage. Chosen one. The battle before the breakthrough is real, but so is the promise. Do not let temporary storms blind you to eternal destiny. Do not let fleeting feelings rob you of unshakable purpose. The crown is waiting. The promise is unfolding. And Tuesday will reveal what you have been carrying all along. Hold fast. Stand firm. And declare it boldly. I stand ready. End of quote. Chosen one. The moment is drawing closer. The unfolding of Tuesday is not coincidence, not chance, not an accident of timing. It is divine orchestration, a weaving together of every trial you have endured, every prayer you whispered in the night, every tear heaven has stored in its bottles. You are on the edge of fulfillment, and the weight of this truth demands your full attention. Think carefully. How many times did you feel forgotten? How many times did you assume the delay meant denial? Yet every step, every pause, every season of silence was leading you to this very point. What you thought was lost time was actually divine preparation. What you thought was abandonment was the sharpening of your spirit. And now, on Tuesday, the curtain begins to lift. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give, as the world gives. Do not be afraid." These words are not distant, they are present. They echo into your Tuesday, assuring you that, even as things shift suddenly, you will not be shaken. Chosen one. The orchestration of this moment is larger than you can see. While you wondered if God still remembered you, He was aligning pieces behind the scenes. While you questioned if your prayers made a difference, He was writing answers into the timeline of your life. Heaven wastes nothing. Not a single cry, not a single sacrifice, not a single step of faith. Everything has been gathered into the preparation of this appointed day. But here is where your part matters: alignment. You cannot treat Tuesday as ordinary when heaven has already called it extraordinary. You cannot scroll past the divine when it knocks on your door. You must stay watchful, open-hearted, ready to receive what has been written over you. This is also why I speak to you with sincerity. Don't let this word fade into the noise of your day. If this is stirring something deep in your spirit, if you know this is confirmation of what you have felt inside, then let your actions align with your faith. Press like not for me, but as a prophetic yes to what heaven is speaking. Share this word, not for numbers, but because someone connected to you needs to hear it before Tuesday comes. And subscribe, not for routine, but so you remain connected to the flow of revelation that is appointed for this season of your life. These actions are not empty gestures. They are responses of faith. They are declarations that you will not treat lightly what God has made heavy with glory. They are ways of saying, I recognize this moment, and I refuse to miss what is unfolding. Chosen one. Tuesday is not just a date. It is an unveiling. It is the divine answer to the seasons you thought were wasted. It is the proof that God's timing is always perfect. And while you may still carry questions, while you may still feel unworthy, Heaven has already declared you ready. So do not shrink back. Do not allow doubt to whisper you out of your promise. Lift your head, strengthen your heart, and step boldly into what has been waiting for you all along. The orchestration is complete. The curtain is rising, and you, yes, you are the one chosen to walk into it. Chosen one. Can you feel the shaking? It is not just within your life, but in the world around you. Everything that is unstable is being exposed. Everything that cannot last is crumbling. At first, it may feel unsettling, even frightening. But do not be deceived. The shaking is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to reveal what cannot be shaken. You see, heaven never builds on weak foundations. What has been constructed on pride, fear, or compromise cannot remain. What has been rooted in lies must collapse. And while the shaking feels like loss, in truth, it is mercy. For God is stripping away the fragile so that you may stand on what is eternal. It was proclaimed in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 27. The words, once more, indicate the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things so that what cannot be shaken may remain. These words carry a sobering reminder. Only what is rooted in heaven will survive the storm. And you, chosen one, are being called to stand on unshakable ground. Think of your journey. How many times have you leaned on things that later collapsed? People you trusted, who walked away. Opportunities you thought secure, which suddenly vanished. Plans you carefully constructed, only to watch them fall apart. At the time, it felt cruel, but now, looking back, you see the truth. If those things had lasted, they would have kept you from the greater path God had for you. The shaking is not punishment, it is purification. It clears away illusions. It removes counterfeits. It brings your heart to a place of uncluttered focus, where you can finally discern what is truly from God and what was never meant for you. Without the shaking, you might still be entangled in relationships, habits, or dreams that would have led you astray. Chosen one. Notice also how the shaking exposes the strength inside of you. Each time the ground trembled beneath your feet, you discovered resilience you did not know you had. Each time life stripped something away, you found a deeper faith to carry you forward. What the enemy meant to destabilize you became the very process that anchored you more securely in truth. And so, here you are, stronger than before. The things that once would have shattered you no longer hold the same power. The losses you once feared have already happened, and you survived them. The storms you once dreaded have already passed, and you are still standing. This is the fruit of the shaking, an unshakable spirit within you. The world may continue to tremble. Systems may fail. People may falter. But you, chosen one, are not built on shifting sand. You are anchored in a foundation that cannot be moved. This is why the shaking comes not to prove your weakness, but to prove your strength. Do not despise the season of instability. Do not curse the collapse of what you thought you needed, for what is being removed was never eternal, and what is being established will never fail. Stand firm. Zen. In the midst of the shaking, lift your eyes above the crumbling structures and fix them on the rock that will not move. The storm may roar, but you will endure. The ground may quake, but you will remain. And when the shaking is finished, What is left will be pure, unshakable, and eternal. Chosen one. This is not the end, it is the refining. And what emerges from this shaking will be stronger than anything that came before. Chosen one. The hour is approaching swiftly. Tuesday is not merely another day, it is a test. A divine checkpoint. A place where your obedience will be weighed. For some, it will pass like any other day, unnoticed, ignored. But for those who recognize the stirring, for those who respond, it will become the doorway into a new season. You have felt the tension. You have sensed the anticipation. It is as if the air itself has been charged, carrying whispers from eternity. Heaven has circled this day on the calendar of your life, not to trap you, but to prove you. What will you do when the moment arrives? Will you hesitate, or will you obey? The Apostle Paul declared in the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 13, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose." Chosen one. Obedience is not something you muster up in your own strength. It is God himself working in you, aligning your will with his, empowering you to act when the moment demands it. But here lies the truth. Heaven cannot bless disobedience. Heaven will not anoint rebellion. You stand at a place where your choices matter more than ever. A single step of obedience can open doors that generations before you longed to enter. And a single act of refusal can delay what has been prepared for years. Do not underestimate this Tuesday. Do not shrug it off as another turn of the week. Every test from heaven carries eternal weight. Every call to obedience unlocks treasures unseen. Every act of surrender ripples far beyond your own life. This moment will shape not only your path, but the paths of those who come after you. This is why I call you now to seal your alignment with a prophetic act. In the comments, type 555. Why this number? Because the number 5 is the number of grace. Triple it, and you declare fullness of grace. Grace to see, grace to act, grace to obey. By writing 555, you are not typing digits, you are prophesying over your life. I will not fail this test. I will not hesitate when heaven calls. I will walk in obedience by grace, not by my own power. Hint, do not take this lightly. The act may seem small, but the faith behind it is great. When you write 555, you are choosing alignment over apathy, surrender over stubbornness, destiny over delay. Heaven will recognize your declaration. Your own spirit will rise with resolve, and the forces of darkness will tremble. Knowing you have chosen obedience over compromise, remember this: obedience is always tested in the quiet. Rarely does heaven ask in moments of applause. More often, the test comes in the silence, when no one else is watching, when your heart alone must decide. And Tuesday will be such a moment. You will not be asked to impress others. You will be asked to prove your allegiance to God alone. Chosen one. Grace has already been given. The strength you need is already within you. The Spirit is already stirring your heart. Now, it is simply your choice. Will you obey? Seal it now. Type 555 with boldness. And when Tuesday arrives, walk with confidence, knowing you are aligned, equipped, and covered by the fullness of grace. Chosen one. The weight of your journey has not been only about survival, it has always been about assignment. You were never chosen merely to endure, to scrape by, to simply make it through. You were chosen to carry fire, fire that breaks chains, fire that ignites faith, fire that lights the path for those still trapped in darkness. There is a reason your battles have been so fierce. The enemy is not threatened by empty vessels. He trembles at those who carry flame. You are a torchbearer, marked to carry what others cannot, called to shine where others are silent. Your life itself becomes a living altar, and the fire resting on you is not of your own making. It is heaven's fire, entrusted to you for a generation, hungry for light, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. These words are not distant history, they are present reality. They call to you even now, urging you to rise and embrace the mantle you have carried all along. Think of the seasons when you questioned your worth, times when you wondered why your life seemed marked by intensity others never faced. Those very seasons were the proof you were being prepared to carry more. Fire is never given to the untested. Only those who have endured the furnace are entrusted with the flame. Chosen one. Your scars are not disqualifications, they are credentials. They are the evidence that you have walked through the fire and emerged not consumed, but refined. They are the testimony that when the world tried to extinguish your light, heaven instead increased it. That is why you carry a presence others notice without explanation. You are not ordinary, and the fire within you refuses to let you live as though you are. And this fire is not for you alone. It is for those still wandering in the shadows. There are souls waiting for the spark you carry, lives hanging in the balance, destinies asleep that only your flame can awaken. This is why you could not quit, even when you wanted to. This is why your survival was non-negotiable. Heaven preserved you because your assignment is bigger than your pain. Chosen one. Picture yourself now as a torch in the night. Darkness surrounds. Fear whispers. Despair loom, but you shine. And as you shine, others see. They rise. They follow. They find courage in the fire you carry. That is the ripple of your calling. You do not need to force it. You do not need to strive for it. You need only to walk in obedience, and the fire will do what it was always meant to do. This is why you cannot live small. This is why you cannot bury your light to make others comfortable. You have been chosen to disrupt darkness, to carry flame where others carry fear, to stand as a reminder that heaven still moves through chosen vessels. And yes, the fire will cost you. It will set you apart. It will demand surrender, but it will also mark you with glory, authority, and impact that nothing in this world can counterfeit. Chosen one. Hear this clearly. You are a torchbearer. You are not meant to hide. You are not meant to be silent. You are meant to burn. And through your burning, others will awaken to their own flame. Chosen one. There is a truth few dare to speak, but it must be spoken now. Mercy does not linger forever. Grace is abundant. Yes, love is unmeasurable. Yes, but there comes a moment when heaven steps back, when mercy withdraws, and when the refusal to listen leads to blindness that cannot be undone. This is not to provoke fear without hope, but to awaken urgency within your spirit. For too many delay obedience, convincing themselves there will always be another chance, another day, another opportunity. But heaven has drawn lines in the sand, moments where decisions must be made, where response cannot be postponed. To hesitate at such times is to risk everything. The prophet Elijah stood before the people, and his words pierced through time in the first book of Kings. Chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him. The challenge is timeless. You cannot live divided. You cannot serve both light and darkness. You cannot cling to compromise and still expect to inherit the crown. Chosen one. This moment matters. You have been given glimpses of destiny, whispers of calling, confirmations that others can only dream of. But with revelation comes responsibility to ignore the voice of God. After hearing it is not merely neglect, it is rebellion. And rebellion leads not to freedom, but to chains. Understand this clearly. Heaven is patient, but not passive. God will not force you into obedience, but he will not endlessly wait while you flirt with disobedience. There comes a point when continual refusal hardens the heart, when truth no longer pierces, when conviction no longer stirs. That is the most dangerous place a soul can stand alive in body, yet deaf in spirit. This is why today, while breath fills your lungs and light still shines on your path, you must choose. Mercy is still extended. Grace is still available. The invitation still remains, but it will not remain forever. To assume it will is to gamble with eternity. Think of the times you delayed, the nudges you ignored, the whispers you silenced. Still, God pursued you. Still, mercy covered you. Still, grace shielded you from consequences that could have destroyed you. That patience was love. But it was also warning. Every delay brings you closer to the line where hesitation becomes rejection. Chosen one. Let the weight of this truth sink in. You are one decision away from stepping into fullness, and one rebellion away from walking into blindness. The line is that thin. The choice is that urgent. Heaven has sent this word not to condemn you, but to spare you from the devastation of silence when mercy finally steps back. Do not mistake kindness for weakness. Do not confuse patience for approval. The very fact that you are hearing this word is evidence that God's hand still stretches toward you. But what you do with it will determine what unfolds next. The time of wavering is over. The season of delay has ended. You cannot linger between two opinions any longer. If the Lord is God, follow him with all that you are. If not, admit your choice and face its cost. Chosen one. The door of mercy is still open, but it will not remain so indefinitely. Step through it while you can, for the day will come when mercy withdraws. And only those who chose obedience will stand unshaken. Chosen one. The time has come for you to rise in authority. Not borrowed authority, not imagined authority, but heaven's mantle that is being placed directly upon your shoulders. You have endured the refining fire. You have walked through valleys. You have withstood storms, and all of it was preparing you for this moment. Now the oil that cost you tears and scars is resting on you as a crown. The Apostle Peter declared in his first letter, chapter 2, verse 9, you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, called into his light. These words are your inheritance. They do not describe someone else, they describe you. You are royal. You are chosen. You are marked with a mantle that darkness cannot contest. Authority is not loudness. Authority is not pride. True authority flows from surrender, because you chose obedience in hidden places. Heaven now trusts you with influence in public spaces, because you remained faithful when no one was watching. God now raises you, so others will see his glory through you. This is why your words will carry weight. This is why your presence will shift atmospheres, not because of you, but because of the authority upon you. But hear this clearly. Chosen one, authority is not given for your comfort. It is not a crown for display, it is a crown for battle. You are rising not to sit passively, but to stand boldly against the works of darkness. Your authority terrifies the enemy. He knows that once you step fully into it, chains will break, strongholds will collapse, and lives will be set free. This is why I speak to you with urgency. Do not shrink back now. Do not question if you are worthy of this mantle. The very battles you endured are the proof of your qualification. The authority you carry is not earned, it is bestowed. And it comes with a divine expectation that you will use it to bring light, to lift others, to declare God's glory. Chosen one, if this word is resonating deeply with your spirit, I ask you to respond in faith. Press like, not as a casual click, but as a seal of agreement that you accept the mantle placed upon you. Share this message not as promotion, but as prophecy, because someone connected to you needs to hear this word and step into their authority too. And in the comments, type boldly, I choose my crown. These 4 words are not empty, they are a declaration. When you write them, you are rejecting every lie that says you are unworthy. You are silencing every whisper that says you are too broken, too late, too weak. You are standing in your true identity, affirming, I accept what heaven has given. I choose to rise. I choose to reign with the authority God has placed on me. Finally, subscribe if you have not already. Not for numbers, not for routine, but to remain aligned with the ongoing flow of revelation that heaven is releasing. What you carry cannot be casual, it must be cultivated. Staying connected ensures you do not miss the words that will sharpen your authority and strengthen your spirit for the days ahead. Chosen one, your crown is not distant, it is here. Your authority is not coming, it has come. Step boldly into it. For the world is waiting, and heaven has already declared, you are chosen, you are crowned, you are unstoppable. Chosen one. Hear this with the weight it deserves. You were never chosen merely to survive. You were not set apart simply to endure storms or to escape destruction. The seal upon your life is larger than you. The mantle placed upon your shoulders stretches beyond your family, beyond your circle, beyond even your generation. You are chosen for nations. There are people waiting for your obedience, souls you have never met, faces you might never see, lives that may never know your name but will be transformed by your yes. That is the weight of your assignment. Your obedience is not small, and your influence is not limited. It ripples outward into places you may never step physically, but will touch spiritually. The ancient words spoken through Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 6, resound here. It is too small to be my servant, to restore Jacob's tribes. I will make you a light to nations. Notice the depth of this declaration. Heaven says, it is too small a thing for your assignment to be limited, too small for your fire to remain contained, too small for your impact to be measured only by what you see. Chosen one, what God has placed in you is not for a corner, not for a small circle, but for the nations. The prayers you whisper in the night shake borders you have never crossed. The light you carry is not local, it is global. That is why the weight has felt so heavy, because your calling is larger than you imagined. Think of your journey, the pain you endured, the battles you fought, the scars you carry. Were they not larger than what seemed fair for one person? That is because you were being trained for a mantle that is larger than one life. Nations require weight bearers, not fragile vessels. And you have proven, through fire and flood, that you are able to carry what others could not. This is why your obedience matters so deeply. When you choose faith over fear, you are not just affecting yourself, you are shifting the atmosphere for multitudes. When you rise in authority, chains break, not only in your life, but in the lives of those tied to your destiny. When you release your voice, it echoes further than your ears can hear. Chosen one, nations are waiting. They may not know your name, but they will feel your flame. They may never see your face, but they will encounter your obedience. You were chosen to be a carrier of hope where despair reigns, a vessel of light where shadows linger, a living testimony that heaven still moves among men. And yes, this is a weighty calling. It will require courage. It will demand surrender. It will not always be comfortable, but it will always be worth it. For what is one life compared to the generations that will be awakened because you refuse to bow to fear? What is temporary discomfort compared to eternal impact? Remember, chosen one, you were preserved for more than survival. Your story is not only about you, it is about every soul your obedience will touch. This is why the crown was placed on your head. This is why the oil flows from your scars. This is why the fire within you has never gone out. Even when life tried to extinguish it, the world does not need another echo. It needs a voice, a torchbearer, a chosen one who will not hide the light. And heaven has pointed to you. Stand in your mantle. Nations are waiting. Chosen one. As this journey comes to its great unveiling, hear this truth. Heaven has not only called you, it has sealed you. The word over your life is not tentative, not fragile, not uncertain. It is eternal. It carries the authority of the one who spoke light into darkness, the one who breathed life into dust. What he has declared over you cannot be undone. You are sealed, not by opinion, not by circumstance, not by human approval, but by the hand of the Almighty. This seal is your protection, your identity, and your destiny. It is the mark that says, this one is mine. This one is untouchable. This one has been chosen for such a time as this. End of 2. The Apostle Paul proclaimed in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 13, when you believed, you were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit, chosen one. You are not walking uncovered. You are not exposed to the chaos of the world. You are marked, sealed, and filled with the very Spirit of God, carrying His presence as both a guarantee and a guide. This seal does not mean the road will be free of trials. It does not promise that storms will never come, but it assures you that nothing can steal your destiny. Nothing can erase your calling. Nothing can strip away what heaven has placed within you. Every battle you fought only confirmed the strength of this seal. Every storm you endured only proved the permanence of His mark upon you. Think of it. Through rejection, you were still sealed. Through heartbreak, you were still chosen. Through nights of silence, when you wondered if heaven still heard you, the seal remained unbroken. Even when you doubted yourself, God never withdrew His claim. You are His fully, irrevocably, eternally His. And with this seal comes unshakable authority. You do not walk in fear. Because you carry heaven's approval, you do not bow to darkness. Because you bear heaven's light, you do not wander aimlessly. Because you are led by the very Spirit who marked you, the world may see weakness, but heaven sees a warrior crowned in glory, sealed for eternity, chosen one. Remember this always: you are unstoppable. Because the one who called you is unstoppable. You are unshakable. Because the rock on which you stand cannot be moved. You are chosen, not by chance, but by deliberate design. Your life is not random, it is written. Your steps are not wasted, they are ordered. Your story is not ordinary, it is prophetic. So, as this chapter closes and a new one begins, carry this truth into every room you enter, every battle you face, every valley you cross, and every mountain you climb. You are sealed with eternity. You are crowned with glory. You are called for nations. You are chosen for now. And nothing, no darkness, nor failure, no delay can undo what God has declared over you. Chosen one, walk boldly. Your crown rests secure. Your destiny stands firm. Your seal shines eternal. Beloved, you have walked through these words not by chance, but by divine appointment. Every section has been a mirror of your journey, your scars, your fire, your crown. Now, as the final note settles, the truth echoes louder than ever. You are chosen. This choosing was never fragile. It was never conditional. It was written before your first breath, confirmed through every storm, and sealed with the Spirit of God. You are not here to merely exist. You are here to disrupt darkness, to carry fire, to awaken nations. Yes, the road will still carry battles. Yes, opposition will rise. But now you know the truth. Your survival was proof of your destiny. Your scars are proof of your anointing. And your endurance is proof of your crown. Nothing was wasted. Every valley carved strength. Every crushing birthed oil. Every delay sharpened your vision. Chosen one, do not shrink back into silence. Do not question whether you are enough. You are sealed. You are marked. You are unstoppable. Carry these words as a banner. You are unshakable, because you stand on the rock. You are unstoppable, because heaven's seal cannot be broken. And you are chosen, because God Himself called you by name. So rise now, crowned and sealed, carrying the flame of eternity into a world desperate for light. Your best days are not behind you. They are unfolding even now. Step forward with courage. Step forward with fire. Step forward as who you have always been, God's chosen one,